Big 12 has released their preseason poll for men's basketball. Baylor is picked first with 5 first place votes, and keep in mind, coaches can't vote for their own team. Kansas is second with 4th. Texas is picked third with 1 first place vote. TCU is picked 4th, tied for 5th, which I hate ties in polls and any polls. Oklahoma State and Texas Tech. Oklahoma's picked 7th. Iowa State 8th. West Virginia 9th. Kansas State 10th. I definitely agree on the bottom 3. Even the bottom 4. Because I think K-State's going to be more of a rebuild. And West Virginia did lose a lot. Some players to the transfer portal. I know they added a few, but they lost some of the best ones from last year to transfer portal. Iowa State, of course, they lost Tyrese Hunter to Texas. So that's a big notable. And they don't bring back as much. Sure, they got transfers, but we'll have to wait and see. Oklahoma makes a lot of sense. It does. Texas Tech tied with for 5th. That makes sense to me because they didn't lose. They don't have a lot of returning production. Yes, they added through the transfer portal and freshmen, but I know one of those transfer portal guys, Fardaws and Minnick, or something like that, 6'11", 245 pounds at forward. He's out indefinitely with a foot, so he might come back in Big 12 play, but we'll see. Oklahoma State, I'm a little shocked that they were not 6th. I mean, instead of tied for 5th. But they definitely have given. I think they're going to be a little bit better than last. They're going to be better than last year because I think last year's team, because they were not allowed to be in the NCAA tournament, they were not as good. But they still were competitive in games here. I mean, TCU is going to be one of those best TCU teams they had in a while, I think. And maybe they could have been 3rd for me. Or even 2nd. Texas makes a lot of sense to be. They're definitely a top 4 team in the league. Maybe they should be number 4. I don't know. But my only concern I have for them this year is the 3-point shooting percentages. I mean, that's the biggest thing. Obviously, Kansas is number 2. They're the defending champ. I know they always reload, but they did lose a lot of some of those players from last year's national championship team. But I also know they didn't play a few guys, like at least one guy that's a transfer from a Division II last year. So we're going to have to wait and see on them. Baylor, number 1, makes a lot of sense. They're definitely a top 2 team in the league. And when you look at the roster, it's pretty deep. And yes, we don't know about Jonathan Chama-Chachua. I know we don't. But even without him, the depth is there. They're going to have one of the best teams in the country coming up this year. And I would automatically put them in the preseason top 10. If I had to make one right now, they're definitely in the top 10. Maybe even the top 5. It's just how good they are. Kansas, maybe I think they need to prove it to me a little bit more. I would put them no higher than 11 right now. So, anyways, I just want to go over this preseason poll and give some of my thoughts on it. And it's going to be very, very competitive this year in the Big 12. It's the best conference in men's basketball. When you look back for a while now, it's the most competitive, and it's back-to-back titles in the Big 12 here. In addition, when you look at the winning percentages within the last 4 complete years with NCAA tournament and Big 12 tournament, the Big 12 is the highest winning percentage by far. So we're going to wait and see how these teams turn up when they get to play in basketball again in November. Anyways, if you like this content, hit the like and subscribe button. See you guys later. It's getting to 400 subscribers and more by the end of this year.